Unlocking the Past, Designing the Future. Brought to you by the Curiosity Archive. Welcome to Wisdom Hub, Japan. I'm Shiori, your librarian and guide. I hope you're all doing wonderful today. Once again, we're going to peel back the layers of a familiar concept and discover how its hidden wisdom can reshape the way we live.
Greetings, listeners. This is Sakunoshin, the Cyber Samurai. I trust you're all doing well?
We're constantly surrounded by an endless stream of words every day. But among them, there are these distilled gems of wisdom, phrases that have been passed down for thousands of years because they capture the absolute depths of human psychology in just a single line. Today, I want to dive into that magic of words.
The depths of human psychology, huh? That definitely puts me on my toes. I'm excited to see what kind of wisdom we're uncovering today.
Me too. The phrase we're exploring today is ai oku ni oyobu, or love reaches even the crows on the roof. Sakunoshin, when you hear those words, what kind of image comes to mind?
Love and crows on the roof. To be honest, I'm not really seeing the connection, to be honest. You got this warm, fuzzy image of love and then kind of creepy crows. It's a bit of an odd pairing.
Right? But behind this phrase lies a hidden truth about the purity of how we feel for someone, and also the slightly dangerous way our minds work. Using this ancient proverb as our guide, let's take a little trip into the depths of love and see how it completely rewires our vision.
Sounds fascinating. Please tell me more.
Let's start with the literal meaning. Simply put, it means that when you love someone deeply, everything associated with them becomes dear to you, even things you'd normally find unpleasant or even hate.
Whoa, so even a hated crow becomes an object of affection?
Exactly. Since ancient times, crows have often been seen as bad omens, creatures you'd rather stay away from. But what if one of those crows was perched on the roof of someone you truly, deeply adore? Someone in the crows on the roof stage of love might think, oh, maybe it's watching over their house, or we're breathing the same air as that bird.
I see. That sounds like a serious case of, well, passion. Something you normally dislike suddenly holds special value just because it carries a shadow of the person you love. It's pure emotional magic.
It really is. It's the polar opposite of the saying, if you hate the priest, you'll hate his robes too. While that's about hate spreading to everything, this is about total affirmation.
Total affirmation. But Shiori, where did this phrase actually come from? If it's been around for 3,000 years, it must have quite a history.
Sharp as ever, Sakunoshin. This is where it gets really interesting. The origin is actually in the classic of history, an ancient Chinese text. The setting is nearly 3,000 years ago, right after King Wu of Zhou overthrew the notorious tyrant King Zhao of Shang.
Oh, so we're talking epic historical drama territory.
Exactly. King Wu was trying to build a new era, but he was torn. He didn't know how to handle the remnants of the fallen dynasty and its people, whether to execute them or show mercy. So he asked the legendary strategist Jiang Xia Taiko Bao for his advice.
The god of strategy himself. What was his answer?
He gave him the original version of this proverb. He said, I have heard that if you love a person, you love even the crows on their roof. But if you hate a person, you hate even the walls of their house. You should eliminate the enemies entirely to root out any future trouble.
Wait, what? Hold on. So Jiang Xia was basically saying, kill them all because as long as their supporters love them, they'll even love their crows and eventually come for revenge.
Spot on. When this phrase was born, it wasn't a warm, fuzzy sentiment. It was actually part of a cold-blooded political logic about showing no mercy to your enemies.
Wow, that's a shocker. That is a world away from the modern beauty is in the eye of the beholder vibe we use it for now.
It really is. But as time passed, people carved out the part about loving everything around the person, and it evolved into an expression for the depth of affection. I think the fact that this sharp blade of a phrase became a soft, poetic proverb over time is proof that humanity is more drawn to the mystery of love than to harsh logic.
True. We'd rather sympathize with the fever of love than political ruthlessness. But that feeling of loving the surroundings is something we see a lot today, isn't it?
Totally. In modern psychology, we call it the halo effect. It's a cognitive bias where our overall impression of a person influences how we feel about their specific traits or things related to them.
Oh, I get that. Like when someone has a great smile and a super clean cut, so you just assume, I bet they're great at their job and have a wonderful personality.
Exactly. That's the modern version of loving the crows. We see it in the early stages of romance all the time. A partner's cheesy joke sounds like the funniest thing in the world, or their old beat-up clothes look incredibly chic. You might even start loving their hometown just because they're from there. Have you ever felt that?
Definitely. I've definitely made a partner's favorite song my personal theme song before. Looking back, maybe my brain was just refusing to let anything bad exist in the world of the person I liked.
Precisely. Your brain wants to see the person you love as a perfect, consistent whole. So it rewrites even the roof crows through a filter of love. It's a lot like oshikatsu dare.
That makes so much sense. You fall for an idol, so you buy the books they recommend and use the same stationery they do. It's not just consumption, it's the process of letting that love seep into your world and dyeing it in their color.
It's an overwhelming energy of affirmation. But sakunoshin, this beautiful, intense emotion has a dangerous side: blindness.
As in, love is blind.
Yes, being in that crow-loving state can make us look away from flaws or real issues that need addressing. We justify everything with, well, it's them, so it's okay. That doesn't always lead to a happy ending for either person.
I see. So maybe the ancients were praising the beauty of love while also warning us about how fragile we are, how easily we paint over the world with our own subjectivity.
That's deep. Truly loving someone shouldn't just be about staying under a spell where crows look like diamonds. It's about recognizing the crow as a crow, with all its gloominess or ugliness, and still cherishing the person under that roof. Mature love is when you stay by their side with a quiet objectivity long after the initial rush has faded.
Real love starts when the magic wears off. But Shiori, don't you think we need those burning seasons too, where everything looks brilliant?
Oh, absolutely. Having your world dramatically change color because of one person is the best part of being human. If things you usually ignore suddenly look beautiful to you, it's proof you're experiencing something precious. I want people to treasure that feeling of loving the crow while it lasts.
That's actually really encouraging. So how can we apply this crows on the roof wisdom to our daily lives?
I like to think of it as a lesson in imagination. Usually, when we deal with someone we dislike, we slam the emotional shutters down, right?
Oh, for sure. You end up hating even the things they own.
Try intentionally borrowing that love filter for a second. For example, if you see a picture of a difficult boss's family or hear a coworker you don't get along with talking about their hobby, try to think about their world. Think to yourself, that person is someone's crows on the roof too.
Even if I can't love the person immediately, I can respect the things they love. I think I can do that.
Just doing that can blow a warm breeze into a stiff relationship. This phrase doesn't just teach us about the depth of love, it asks us how far we can expand our perspective.
So while we cherish our own world, we also spare a thought for the crows that someone else loves. That's the first step toward a more tolerant heart.
Exactly. Now, let's go even deeper into the psyche. I mentioned jianxia earlier, but back in ancient China, a roof was much more than just a part of a house.
Oh? What did it represent?
In the architecture of that time, the roof was a symbol of lineage and authority. A crow perched there wasn't part of the house, but it was seen as sharing the qi, energy, of that household. That's why the strategist said to eliminate even the crows. It was a cold logic of governance. Half-hearted mercy only leads to future disaster.
So if the people still loved the dead king, just seeing a common sight like a crow on a roof would remind them of their loyalty to him. That was a threat to the new ruler. The permeating power of love is actually pretty terrifying.
Yes, love burns right through boundaries. The heat spreads from the garden to the fence to the birds in the sky. This conduction of heat can make people heroes, but it can also drive them to madness.
I bet there are tons of examples of that in literature.
Japanese stories from the Edo period are wild. There are scenes where someone's so infatuated that they collect the dirt the other person walked on, wrap it in paper, and take it home. By modern standards, we'd say, wait, is that a stalker?
The logic of the ground they stepped on is special. Scientifically, it's just mud, but emotionally, it's the absolute truth.
In Japanese waka poetry, instead of saying, I love you directly, poets often wrote about the clouds on the mountain where the person lived, or the flowers in their garden. They took the crows on the roof spirit and refined it into a poetic aesthetic that melts into the landscape.
Just seeing the plum blossoms at your house makes my heart full. That feels like it has much more deeper, permeating power than just saying, I like you.
Now, Sakanoshin, here's a proposal. What if we applied this magic to ourselves?
To ourselves, like self-love?
Yes. Many people struggle with self-loathing or only focusing on their flaws. But loving yourself shouldn't just be about approving of your best parts. It's about accepting the ugly crows inside you, your weaknesses, your insecurities, your petty feelings. Accept them as residents perched on the roof of the house that is you.
The ultimate application of loving the crows on the roof.
Exactly. When you can think, my short temper and my cowardice are also part of the scenery that makes me who I am, that's when you finally make peace with yourself. If you have enough heat to love someone else's crows, try turning a bit of that heat toward your own shadows.
Don't chase them away, just let them be there. If the light of love is strong enough, even the shadows become part of a beautiful gradient. That's a really healing thought.
I'm glad you think so. To wrap things up, I want to talk about the magic of time that this phrase teaches us. This feeling actually changes as time goes by.
Changes?
In the beginning, there's enough passion to make a crow look like a diamond. But after years pass, the crow eventually goes back to being just a crow. But that doesn't mean the love has cooled. Recognizing the crow for what it is and still wanting to be under that roof, knowing the inconvenient truths about someone and choosing not to leave. To me, that is the completion of love.
A quiet, unwavering affirmation that remains after the spell is broken. That's a love rooted in the house itself, the foundation of life, rather than just a temporary explosion of emotion.
I hope that everyone listening can cultivate that kind of deep, quiet relationship where you can love even the ugly crows on the roof together. Second Ocean, thank you for today.
Thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed this journey through words. I think I'm going to look at the crows in the sky a little differently tomorrow.
That sounds lovely. Well, everyone, I hope this 3,000-year-old wisdom, love reaches even the crows on the roof, changes your view of the world just a little bit tomorrow. May the little crows in your daily life find peace, and may a rich love rain down upon your precious roof. Until next time.
Wisdom for You, Heart of Japan. Connecting the soul of Japan to the world. Thank you for joining us at Wisdom Hub Japan, brought to you by the Curiosity Archive. We look forward to seeing you in our next chapter. Until next time.
今日の話はいかがでしたか？先人の知恵ことわざはまだまだ続きます。次回好奇心の図書館でお会いしましょう。またね
I know I've had my share of dead ends, it's a trend. Early mornings filled with regrets, bad feelings. Those days were fun, but now I hate it. I hate it. I never pinky swore on secrets, my lips sipped from anyone who ever loved me the same back. What's the point if you don't get that? I want it.